All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Get the right thing up there. Lou Marston will be joining us shortly. A little bit of an impromptu here. There we go. Giants news hot today, everybody. Willy Adames signed. All right, come on in, chat. We'll wait on in for Lou. Wait everybody to come on in. Giants baseball. I'm feeling you, Steven. I like the move today. All right. We got more people to come on in. Hold on here. Let me get to the... You don't like it, Ryan? The new music is bad. Oh, we got to pick something else then. Hold on here. Too loud. Okay, let me turn it down. Let me turn it down. We got it too loud, says producer Ryan. Hold on. I'm running the show here and I can't find things. There we go. We'll turn it down. How's that? There we go. All right. Lou will be here shortly. We got a late start, getting everything prepared, but we got it going now, guys. Let me kill the band. All right, as the thumbnail shows, guys, what's next for the San Francisco Giants? Is it Corbin Burnes? Is it Max Fried? Something's coming, guys. Something is coming. I feel it. I don't know if it'll be tonight, tomorrow, Monday, but I feel it. They don't sign a Willy Adames to just have a Willy Adames. So we will see what happens, who's coming, but I think it's Burnes. I also hear that they're in on Sasaki. We bring in Lou. How's it going, Lou?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So I'm hearing from some reports. Thank you, Robert Boyd, out there for some of the texts coming my way. Let me pull them up here. We've got things going. I got to see who that is. All right, let's see. Guys, we're not too crazy. Some of these things that have been put out are just, they keep coming as we put them together. I'm going to show you another. Hold on here and see if I can find this one. Here we go. We'll give that a follow. This guy is followed by Ned Coletti. And we'll bring up that tweet. Okay, let me pull this up. And I'm talking about Corbin Burnes. What we talked about on the thumbnail, guys, is Corbin Burnes coming. This guy, Bill Madden, 1954, followed by Ned Coletti, hearing Giants signing of Adames soon, to followed by Corbin Burnes, who grew up in Bakersfield and now favors going home to Northern California. Giants flexing their financial muscle and are set to pay plus $200 million to replace Blake Snell. I feel this coming, guys. I'm telling you, we said it today earlier. I think that the Giants do end up getting Corbin Burnes. You're not going to just let Blake Snell walk. Think about this. Lou, does this make sense to let Blake Snell walk and then not fill up Blake Snell's position after you signed Adames?
No, especially when you say you're going to do all defense and pitching. People don't realize what Snell did the second half of the season. He helped the bullpen that was already shot. You were assured at least 5 to 6 innings by a starter. He actually had one of the most incredible 6-game stints where I believe his ERA was like .38, and that's hard to replace. So you can't just let him go and assume with our still pretty much shaky starting staff, where we have Ray off an injury who came back for 3 games, Webb, who, is now pitched over 400 innings the last 2 years, and then, we got Birdsong, and we're young. We need a veteran presence, and I think that'll really help us. Plus, if you're not going to replace him, then why did you sign Adames? It doesn't
absolutely.
Make sense.
That is the whole point, Lou. That is exactly what we're talking about. Burnes is younger than Snell. He pitches deeper into the games. Before we get into this further, let us thank our sponsor of this show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, give them a call, 415-613-9483 in Marin. They're licensed in all of California. Give Chapman Law Group a call. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, guys, I do think it's Burnes or Fried. And I do hear another thing, guys. I'm hearing that the Giants are in on Sasaki. I'm hearing now that the Yankees are in on Teoscar Hernandez. The market is expected to heat up once Juan Soto signs. This from Talking Yanks. Again, a shout out to Robert Boyd. I've got some other stuff I want to show you in regards to the Sasaki deal. I think what would be awesome if the Giants actually, telling you, if the Giants get Burnes and they go out and get a Sasaki and then make a little trade here and there for a Bellinger, you can get a Bellinger. If you get Sasaki and Burnes, you could probably maybe move off that Robbie Ray contract and get him over to Chicago if they're willing to take that on and get rid of Bellinger's a kind of a swap, a little bit of a gain for the Cubs. Ray's making $25 million, Bellinger $27.5. Maybe the Giants pay $5 to $7 million of that to ease a little bit of the money. That allows for the Giants to get Sasaki, Burnes, and a Bellinger in a trade. Now your pitching is Webb, Sasaki, Burnes. That's an awesome 3, isn't it?
Yeah, and Webb wouldn't be your ace. He'd be your third pitcher, but the best third pitcher of anybody in major leagues.
Right.
Less pressure. He could just go out, do himself. Because I think that's one of Webb's problems is he almost has to overdo it.
Yes.
And then he feels horrible when he doesn't get 5 innings. It's just, sorry, Webb, that's just how it is.
Right.
And he fits better that way.
Right.
Dan, I personally agree with everything you say. I'm just not a big Bellinger fan for 2 reasons. He's had 1 good year since his injury. And the Cubs, why are they trying to get rid of him? I always get a little bit worried when teams are trying to trade somebody and you're not sure why, because they don't really have big names. Bellinger was a sort of a big piece for them. And now they just want to get – so I'm always just a little bit hesitant. I do like what you said on the earlier broadcast. We definitely need an ace. But I think what's happening right now is the Dodgers are probably going to get someone like Kim because they need a shortstop. And really, we got the best shortstop. So that's something we took away from the Dodgers to us, which is great. But you can't – right now, we have a great third baseman defensively, great shortstop defensively, but we still have first base and second wide open.
Right.
So we wanted to bring. It's still good if you only have half of it covered.
Yeah. I wanted to bring this up before you finished, But yes, this is the other news I was talking to you about. Sasaki on the Giants are expected to be significant players for highly coveted pitcher Roki Sasaki. This, according to NBC Sports Bay Area, probably written by Alex Pavlovich. Nope, Jordan Elliott. Jordan Elliott, okay. Been on this show as well.
A little bit more reliable.
Giants made a splash on Saturday by signing, obviously, Willy Adames. The other significant players for Sasaki mentioned by Jeff Passan are the Mets, Cubs, and Rangers. Of course, the Dodgers and Padres are serious suitors as well. So this is going to be interesting. You know, I got to thinking about this, Lou.
Sure.
What do you think if I'm Buster Posey? I'm going to Roki Sasaki and I'm telling him, look, do you want to play with Ohtani and Yamamoto, or do you want to beat? Would you like to have a matchup where you're facing Ohtani? And how would that be for your country, Japan? Like, that'd be a battle. Now, if the Dodgers have all the Japanese players, well, it's great, but you're just kind of like an afterthought, more or less.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You know, Buster could go after Sasaki with the idea, how would this be the matchup? Sasaki versus Yamamoto in the lights in Japan. Would that not draw in the country? And then when Sasaki comes up when Ohtani's facing him, what a battle. Come on, let's get some things like that going versus.
Yeah. And Dan, one of your hosts that's every other Sunday night, Ned, brought up a great point because, again, we just know the name, we know the stats. People don't realize how big this guy is. And if you were to get him, it would be huge for the Bay Area, everything, tourists, the works. But you'd have a pitcher who right now is right at his prime, ready to launch. And the other thing is, instead of paying Yamamoto, which I think was $210 million, we can get this guy maybe like 1/3 of the price. And what that does is that gives us caliber to get someone like Burns and him and a possible another bat.
Yeah. Guys,
I mean, Ned brought it up, and he really got me excited about this guy.
George Curry says Webb would not be the third starting pitcher of the Giants. Sasaki would be out, 3-4 starting pitcher. He has great stuff, but needs more experience. Love to have him. Bellinger's light-hitting player did not have any pop. Yes. Well, what are you going to do for first base, guys? What are the Giants going to do? Are they going to run it back with Lamont Wade? Are they going to run it? Because, look, they don't have any left-handed bats. You're going to need somebody. Right now, I will put together and show you what the lineup looks like, but it's going to take me, well, I'll have to play with it. But right now you got Jung-Hoo Lee. As of today, this is probably your lineup. Jung-Hoo Lee leading off
lefty
in center field. Batting second. If it were me, I would put Luis Matos second in left field. But it depends on if they're going to give him a shot or if they're going to go with Yaz. My guess is they're going to go with Yaz and bat. Okay, so it's probably let's assume it's like this. Batting second is they don't really have this is the problem. They don't have a number two. I don't want to see Tyler Fitzgerald up there. He strikes out too much. I don't know who you put in the two hole. Maybe you put Adames. Maybe he's one of your better hitters. And you put Adames 2. You put
Ramos 3.
Yeah, there's still more to come.
They don't really have a number 2 hitter. They have like maybe a 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.
Yeah. You know, Necron, I mentioned that earlier today about Goldschmidt on a 1-year deal. Here's the problem, guys, and I'm going to put this out there. A lot of, other content creators might not bring this up. the Giants have a very strikeout heavy lineup. You cannot have all these guys that strike out, okay? You cannot have Pat Bailey, Ramos, Chapman, Adames. That's 4 guys that strike out 22% or higher. Bailey's 22. The other 3 guys,
26.
Ramos, Chapman, and Adames, about 25%. That's 4 guys. Now, there could be a little bit of a different hitting approach to help them cut down, but I don't think you're cutting down too much. I don't think you're changing too much at Matt Chapman and Willy Adames at their rate. And so you're going to have to find guys that make contact. And if you put Yaz in the lineup, that's 5 guys that strike out on an average of close to 25%. That is the definition of insanity, running it back, expecting different results. Because what was the problem the last 2 years with this club?
Strikeouts, batting average, runner and scoring position.
Correct. So you're going to have to find some players that make contact. This is why I think if you check out the video we did this morning, we put out Hye-Seong Kim, not Ha-Song, Hye-Seong. Hye-Seong Kim of the
KBO
Korean team. And this guy has some, he is an interesting player. He really does have a nice swing. He's more top heavy on the ball. He does not have a lot of uppercut that you might see typically when you watch a lefty, the lefty swing. So I really think there is some things to come. I like the Hye-Seong Kim possible signing just because he is a guy that does hit the ball a lot. He does have some strikeout. He will strike out about 16 to 17% of the time in the KBO. So I do have some highlights of Hye-Seong Kim. If you guys want to take a look at him, you could check him out on the video as well, but I'll show you a little bit of Hye-Seong Kim coming up here shortly, guys. I just want to get this set up. Hold on here while I hit it. Kind of screwed it up here a little bit. Okay. So now we're ready to go. We can get a little bit of Hye-Seong Kim in Korea. This would be a good second baseman for the Giants because he makes contact. Can you guys see him up there now?
Yep. Crystal clear.
Let me hit play.
And he's a lefty.
And he's a lefty. And he's got speed. Now watch his swing. Let me analyze his swing. Okay, this is just a poor play. This was the start. That's okay. He usually, most of the hits I saw here. Now, this is highlight reel, so you're not going to see anything negative. No strikeouts. But see, there's an inside-out swing a little bit. Goes with the pitch. It was out a little bit over the plate. He went with it. He stays in there pretty well. Another one down the left field line. I think this one goes right off the line. Boom. And then you'll see him hit some balls to the right side. And he also stays in there when he's facing a lefty. Now, again, KBO, as you can see here, horrible play in the outfield. This is equivalent to AA, AAA. In between, I think it's between a AA and AAA type team. See, there he goes again. He'll beat this out easily. And you're going to see him here hit the ball to the right side off of a lefty. There he is. Nice pull. Gets it down the right field line. Also, guys, he did face some major league pitching against the Dodgers last year. When the Dodgers went over to play San Diego in 2 games in Korea, they had an exhibition game against Hye-Seong Kim's team, and Kim hit a double off the right center field wall off of Bobby Miller. So he can get around, a pitch. Bobby Miller can bring it. And then later in the game, he flied out to left field against Miller. But see how he's on top of the ball more, Lou?
Solid contacts.
Yeah, much more top spin. See, he's hitting the ball
He's
with
letting the
top
ball
spin.
come in and then he's spraying it.
Right. Now
That's
here he takes off on a
exactly
hit
what
and
we-
run,
Good first step.
and he heads over to third base. You see him. Here's another lefty here. He stays in. Boom. Now these are not, your overpowering lefties we're watching.
Now, Dan, I have a question for somebody out of the KBO. Once he's listed, is he one of these guys that can't sign until after a certain date?
He's got 30 days right now. The window's open to sign. So
Okay.
he's going to get signed. His contract, Cole, estimated to be 3 years, $24 million. So I expect somebody maybe to pay $10 million a year, maybe $30 million, anywhere between 24 to 30 million, I think, on a 3-year deal. Maybe he gets a 4th-year deal. Maybe it's very affordable. Again, he hit 304 in the Korean League in 8 seasons. Okay. He's 26 in January, so he'll be the same age as Jung-Hoo Lee. He is, like I said, a 304 hitter. He has 211 career stolen bases. He stole over 30 bases last year. If he hit 304, that's equivalent to probably in the big leagues, he's probably going to hit in the 260, 265 range.
He'd be our leading hitter.
And he doesn't strike out a ton, about 17% of the time. So it's a lot better than 25.
And Dan, he's got speed, so we'd have 2 guys actually that have speed. I think that's the one thing about the Giants that sort of disappointed me. Everybody else in the league, except us and against us, ran like crazy.
Yes.
And we didn't take advantage of the rule.
See, he hits a lot of – there's a ball in the gap. Let's see if he gets a triple here. No, they cut it off. Okay. I haven't seen all these highlights here. But see how he sprays the ball all over?
Yeah, I like it.
I like this type of player for the Giants. Yeah, Kyle. Exactly. Speaks Shanny trade talks before anyone. It's all over sports media. Someone spied on the campaign. Yeah. Someone stole my idea. Also, the guys stealing my Webb trade ideas and my my Purdy, don't pay Purdy $60 million. I'm sure others have talked about it too before me, but whatever. It's all cool. We're all trying to put it out there. And I like his swing is more of a, he's not trying, he knows he doesn't have the power, so he doesn't have that left-handed uppercut.
Yeah, he's not trying to kill it. He's just trying to make contact. He'd fit right in. I mean, Dan, I sort of feel like tonight it's just an appetizer before we get the main meal starting tomorrow, because we've had 4 moves tonight, which is exciting for baseball.
Yes, it really is, guys. It really, really is. So I think the Giants got to make a play on this guy because, I love Casey Schmidt at second base for this team, but the Giants need to find a way to get guys that make more contact. And, I don't know where Casey, if the Giants don't get this guy, that Casey should definitely be a leading candidate for second base. I mean, Casey's got some pop, but this guy's, he's got, held him up. Now, again, this is all, there goes a long ball. He got one. He got a long ball. There we go. It was a hanger. Yeah, most of this
looks like Levon there.
Yeah. So
Levon Hernandez, the pitcher.
You're getting the idea of what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
We're seeing a guy that sprays the ball.
And he hits against lefties and righties. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he doesn't pull out of the box when he's facing a lefty. He hangs in there. There's another. Yeah. you're kind of seeing a similar spray chart. I mean, and if it's outside, he'll go with it. There's one on the inside. This better be caught. Come on, what kind of outfielders we got in KBO? No wonder he hit 304. But this is the type of player the Giants need to look for: contact, speed, young. He's not expensive.
Yeah, I like his swing. His swing sort of reminds me of a Christian Yelich a little bit.
Yeah. I want to see him steal a base.
And pop it occasionally, but he's more of a gap hitter, but he makes contact.
Oh, here he is against another lefty. Oh, boom.
Perfect.
I want to see him steal a base, please. I don't know what this highlight reel has. This is just him hitting. Not a ton of power, but the idea that he does hit it down the right field, he'll get it there, could be really good. There it is down the left field line. In Oracle, they cheat and play in that triples alley.
Yeah.
If he can pull it, it's a type of player that, you got to play straight away. So I think we've seen enough. He is a second baseman, and I'll see if I can find some highlights of him at second base, was in the field. So we'll see what we can come up with. Cole says, hopefully this Adames signing goes through, because I do not want this Correa situation. Oh, trauma. Yeah, this isn't going to be that. That Correa, the Giants management ownership got cold feet on that. When they saw that they were going to have him for 13 years, $330 million, they were like, this is not, this is no way. So, I mean, I think I'd much rather have an Adames for 7 years right now than 10 more years of Correa, wouldn't you? I think Adames has a little more pop. So, so guys, I do believe while we're on this live, we could have something break. We could have something
looking. I mean, since this, we've had 3 other deals tonight. I mean, they're not big, but stuff's starting to happen.
Right. We could have
Tyler O'Neill, Gary Sanchez signed.
Just looking here at our YouTube count.
Get your name. How are you, buddy? Like the beam.
So everybody over on X watching, we got a lot of people watching on X. Come on in, join the program. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you would. It really does help our show, helps the algorithms. Everybody give that a like and a subscribe. Help the video, pump that out to more people. And I'm going to take a look here and see, Lou, if I could find anything else on Hye-Seong Kim as far as his infielding. Take a look here. I think Seattle's going to be in on Hye-Seong Kim. That's going to be the one team that the Giants may have to overcome.
Sticks.
What's that?
They need sticks. They have pitching, but they need hitters.
Yeah. But I do expect, everyone, I do expect some things to break here within the next 48 hours for sure. I think the Soto deal.
And then does it officially start tomorrow, the winter meetings?
It does. It does. Yeah. And I was hoping to get down there, but I messed up and sent an email had the wrong digit on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, it did, and it got bounced back. I'm just looking to see what I have here in terms of my email. Hold on one sec. Okay, so yeah, we've got a lot of activity happening at the winter meetings. Supposedly, Juan Soto was meeting with his group, seen it at a dinner table earlier tonight. I think it's getting down. As I told you, I believe this thing was going to hit in the 7s. I think it just comes down to, the Mets and the Yankees, and the surprise pick, if he goes anywhere else other than those two teams, I think it would be the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers may be trying to pull something off, and if they can get close to what Soto's looking for, then I think you might have a possible deal with the Dodgers. But my gut tells me, Lou, at this hour, I think it's going to be the Yankees. I think he returns back to the Yankees. It's what I did my video on that we put out yesterday on Juan Soto. If you watch that, I think in the end it comes back to the Yankees. It doesn't make sense to me for him to go to the Mets if the offers are close. I mean, what's the difference if you're getting 780 or 730?
Doesn't
Seriously.
matter, but I think you're wrong. I'm going to go on a different way. I don't think either. I think he's either going to the Red Sox
or the Blue Jays
or the Blue Jays. I've been saying the Blue Jays the whole time.
No chance he goes to the Blue Jays.
Now I keep hearing the Red Sox at 738 million. They're up to. It's ridiculous. I think the biggest at the.
I don't know where these numbers are coming from, Lou.
Yeah, I mean, which is amazing because Ohtani goes both ways. He pitches and he hits. But you know what? The problem, I think the biggest problem is really this free agency class on a scale of 1 to 10 was about a 5. You have probably 3 big sticks and 5 great pitchers. You know, compared to, the last couple of years, like 3 years ago or 4 years ago when they had 4 of the best shortstops, all free agents at once, so I do think it's one of those things. You want a great player, you got to pay the fee. But I like what you say, Dan. If you're going to pay $700 million for one, why not spend $700 on 4? And then you're going to have them, and you've started something special for a long time.
Yes, I think the Red Sox. I think that's a good pick, but I think what they really are in this, Boris. You got to remember who Scott Boris is.
Yeah,
and you got to remember Juan Soto. Who did the agent for Ohtani use to drive up the price for Ohtani? He pitted the Giants against the Dodgers. What a better way than pit the Red Sox against
the Yankees.
Against the Yankees. There's no way the Yankees are going to say, I think the Yankees would say, okay, you want to go to the Mets, but you're not going to the Red Sox.
Biggest
period.
Rival, yeah.
So I think the Yankees step up.
Sort of like Judge with the Giants. Oh, he's a hometown boy. Giants are going to get him. They need him. They haven't got anybody. When we all knew he was going to the Yankees.
Yeah. Boris is just going right now. This is one of those negotiations that's going back and forth. And Boris has got all the perfect leverage. He's got the perfect storm. He's got the Blue Jays interested, the Mets and Steve Cohn, the Yankees and the Red Sox. And for good measure, he's got the fear of the Dodgers with this deferred money. Because remember, these teams don't know what the offers are. All these rumors we're hearing was 738, 725, 750. You know what? Nobody knows those. Those are being leaked on purpose.
I agree. And it could just be his agent doing it. So if somebody else comes back and goes over the top.
Right. And then once they get that mark and it's really is the real number, for all intents and purposes, Boris may have as little as 675, 650, and he's pushing for 725 to 750. And when he gets it, he's going to take it. Who knows? Maybe this thing gets pushed closer to 8. I don't know, but I do know one thing. It's not going. It's either going to happen tonight, or I think it happens Monday at the meetings. I don't see this taking place on a Sunday, NFL Sunday. It loses.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or unless it's Sunday night,
Yes.
after all the games.
Sunday night, announced right after Sunday night football, something. But you got to remember, right now it's 11:35 on the East Coast. So, do you really want that news put out? I don't know how they look at it, but I think Soto, the deal gets done anytime tonight, or we could even, I don't know if we wake up to it Sunday morning. Could. I mean, that's putting baseball against the NFL. I've said.
It still dominates. I mean,
Yeah.
NFL still dominates no matter what.
Right. What did I say Monday or all along? I said I felt like this thing's going to get done with Juan Soto at the winter meetings. So, Lou, is there a mystery team that could pop into this that nobody is talking about?
With Soto?
Yes.
Well, I've been saying he's going to Toronto, and you didn't mention him. So let's see. If
Well,
but
Toronto's already listed in the 5 publicity public wise.
What about something crazy? I'm going to throw one out just because we keep talking. They have great pitching, but they need a hitter. How about somebody crazy like Seattle?
Yeah. I do think he wants to be.
Does he purely want to be on the East Coast, or is that what we want to think he is?
I think he's going to stay on the East Coast. The Dominican is, you're 3 hours closer. What is it? 3 hour flight to the Dominican from the East Coast, roughly from New York.
Depends, yeah.
Where if you're out on the West Coast,
I'll give you a mystery team that's nobody's talking about, that people sort of forgot about. How about the Atlanta Braves?
Now that would be an interesting team,
because you got to remember they had the former MVP. They have a situation at first base, Olsen, that isn't really coming through. They could trade him. You got then you'd have 2 complete studs on the top of the lineup, because I think a lot of these teams, to win the World Series now, you got to have sort of a 1-2 punch. Sort of like how basketball, they always said for a while, you got to have 3 great players. The Yankees lose Soto. I don't think they're going anywhere. They have problems. They're pitching, all this. So I'll how about that one? I would say completely off the wall, the Atlanta Braves. Because there's always somebody that shows up at the very last second that we just aren't thinking of.
Right. How would that affect the Ronald Acuna, who's making hardly nothing? Would that be some tough things to swallow for the Braves, for Ronald Acuna, and the fact that Juan Soto's making like 5 times more?
Well, you got to remember they're losing their ace, and they could have these guys maybe as possible trade baits. I'm just saying, Atlanta is hungry for a winner. I was just there. They were so close. People forget how good Atlanta was, the favorite beside the Dodgers to go to the World Series last year. And then
they really were.
Went down. So, originally I thought someone like Philadelphia, but I'll just say Atlanta just to go completely haywire. I said Snell was going to the A's. That was completely nuts.
I heard they You did, they did get a pitcher though, Severino.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake, Marty Lurie's not coming on tonight. I will get him on soon for sure. I don't want to wake up Marty in this. He might be. It's 9:40 here in Arizona, so where Marty and I both live. So let me check something out here.
Games coming down to the wire.
Good game. Yeah, 45-37, 8-point lead. Wow.
Yeah, and they got to punt the ball. And then the other one, SMU's got 3rd and 1 on the 18 with 50 seconds left. trying to tie it or go for two.
Ooh, wow. That's two great games, guys. Yep. Great day in college football. Let me see if
unless you're a Texas fan, they blew that game again.
They blew it.
They just destroy themselves.
Yeah, even Kitchen Handy has that one right there. Texas
there
team
you go,
choking.
man. You have
Must
a
be a
chance to win a first down on your own 18. You get a hold, another penalty. Just awful.
Yeah. So, guys, back to the Giants baseball. I think they're going to be making more moves than just this Adames move. This Adames move does not make sense if that's all there is. So they've already signaled they are not doing a rebuild. Buster Posey is not going to do a rebuild. Some people thought they may, but I'm going to watch both of these games at the same time.
Do you think the Giants and Buster did this for Robert, since he's been claiming the whole time to believe in Buster?
Robert Rothberg?
Yeah, he probably did it for him, huh?
He might, maybe he did. Maybe he was doing it. Yeah, these games are coming down to the wire. Cole, I don't think that's probably going to happen, Cole. Just to let you know. And Jake, I would love to get him on just to chat. Be open to it, but I got blocked on Twitter from him last year because I threw out the fact that the Giants were lacking real reporters to ask tough questions when Farhan. But maybe things will be different.
Yeah, he's paid by the Giants. A lot of those guys are under contract. They got to speak one way, and you might feel uncomfortable on something like this.
Right. So, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think the Giants do? Do you think they should add? Who would you prefer in the chat? Tell me in the chat. Do you prefer Burns or Fried? Burns or Fried? Just Burns or Max?
I'd probably want Fried since he's a lefty. That's just me.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that, Lou. You watching the SMU?
I just have first and goal on the 4.
Well, just watch it.
They're about to score?
Yeah.
I'd rather go to overtime.
2 overtime games. Okay, I see Burns.
Does Burns have a
greater
twin?
than
I'll take
3.
both of them.
Burns, he's not really local in the sense that he's from Bakersfield. He did go to college.
LA.
Yeah, he did go to college. Yeah. It's funny. I was a sales manager with a healthcare company in Bakersfield. But I reported to Northern California district manager, and I was only 2 hours from LA. So they did end up changing that at some point. Bakersfield, we have the number 1 office in the state of California of all of the healthcare company. But so Bakersfield, but the fact is he did go to St. Mary's.
Moraga. All right.
Yep. So in fact, I may be able to, if he gets Burns on, you know what? Giants get Burns. I'll see if I can get him on the show. I have a connection to Corbin Burns. He's been on our show before, and he played at St. Mary's with Corbin Burns. So maybe, guys, if Corbin Burns comes to the Giants, I will try to get Corbin Burns on the show. Can't promise it, but I have a very good, strong connection with someone who has a very strong connection with
And
Corbin.
Dan, one of the things maybe the chat was unaware of, for the last 6 months, the Dodgers were probably 95% people said Adonis was going there. So people got to realize we took a huge piece of the Dodgers since they're still looking for a shortstop, and we got him. So you got to give the Giants front office credit. After 3 years of just, complaining, we did something to affect the Dodgers, which, you got to see it that way.
All right, here's some news that is out on, thanks to Robert, our no signing, but Robert Boyd, our crack staff reporter, sending us notes here. Red Sox reportedly opened a Tristan Casas trade. Now, I like this kid. Let me do some investigating
And
here.
is that because of the recent signing 2 hours ago?
With Juan Soto?
No. They picked up the kid. Oh, no, they lost the guy to Baltimore. Sorry. There's so much movement.
Oh, yeah, they lost O'Neal. Let's see. How do you spell his name? Tristan. What is his name? Hold on.
But I like him too.
Tristan. I like him.
I'm going to contact hitter.
I'm going to pull something up here, guys, and see if I can figure this out. Give me a second here to look up. He's only been in the big leagues a couple years. He is 6'5", 244. He's only 24. He turns 25 in January. The Red Sox, they don't get Soto. They might go young with the fact that they got 4 guys that are up and coming. I'll tell you where I'm sniffing on this thing, see if you can figure it out. He's not a big home run hitter. Hit 24 in 23 and 502 plate appearances. Hit 13 last year, but he was kind of injured, so he only had 212 at bats. But he does, let's see, his strikeout rate, he's had 226 strikeouts, 226 in 840 career plate appearances. So he's a 27% K rate. But let me ask you this. Tristan Casas, it's a 27% K rate right there. Now, if you want to count at bats, it's over 30, George. You're right. I do it by plate appearances because, a walk doesn't count as an at bat, but it does count as a plate appearance. So if you're going to really judge somebody on, you can't say he strikes out every time he goes up to bat. So I do it off plate.
58-yarder to win it.
What are we looking at?
58-yarder to win it.
Hold on.
Hudson ran back to play 41 yards to kick off. Next play, 17. Remember, they kicked off with 16 seconds, 3 seconds left, 58-yarder to beat
wow.
SMU.
Okay, I'm watching it.
Prevent yourself from winning.
Oh my gosh, he made it. Oh man, poor SMU.
Yeah.
Do they get choked out of a at-large bid now?
I don't know. They made such a great comeback. I'd give them credit and not let Alabama come in. They got 3 losses.
Yeah, and the committee will give it that stinks.
Oh, they came all the way back. 16 seconds left. Just kick off. You got to tackle.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let me get back to this Casas thing. I'm going to put together something for you guys, and I want to see what everybody thinks on this. So we've got the MLB rumors. These are rumors. So let's see if we can put together a little deal, what it will take for the Giants to go after Tristan Casas. Is it Casas or Casas? How do you say it? Do you know, Lou?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to pull up the baseball trade values. We're going to do a little trade simulation here. We're going to look. See, I think the Giants are going to be in on trades. When you start adding people in free agency that are good, it gives you more depth to trade from. So to me, I'm thinking that maybe I would rather have let me check out what his value is. Okay. Casas has a value of 29.7. All right. So you tell me 29.7 and Bryce Eldridge has a value of 41.5. Eldridge 19. I think I'd keep Eldridge at this point. I think I would keep Eldridge. So I don't think that the Giants will be in on anything with Tristan Casas, but they need to be thinking in terms of a first baseman. You can't go out there, Lou, with Lamont Wade Jr. or Wilmer Flores as your first baseman.
Especially where you have two basic studs on right and shortstop. I mean, third base and shortstop.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to get to everything, but you need a first baseman. And, you know, that comes back where I know recently you brought up a great thing. You know, hey, Paul Goldschmidt would be good. You guys got to remember, we're not even sure if our guy, we've heard it so many times in the minor leagues, all these guys are going to make it to the majors. You know, I mean, you know, a good example recently would have been Bart. He's the next Buster. My God, we didn't even give him a chance after 4 years, and then we wound up shipping him off. So, guys, everybody with Eldridge, let him earn his way up. Let him discover AAA and, you know, give him a little time. We don't want him to come up like a lot of other rookies come up and have a horrible first month. You know, then he's going to lose his confidence and everything else. Just let him, when the time is right, the Giants will bring him up.
Hey, I guess someone else is talking about Casas now, too. Go look at the see that in the chat? Oh, That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, we put it up. Yep. So what else we got in the chat, guys? So Robert Rothberg says that's why Posey wants veterans. Posey was smart not trading Webb, says Robert.
Still early.
It's still early. I don't think Webb gets traded. Look, guys, I wasn't for just trading Webb to trade Webb. There's a couple scenarios I would trade Webb. Number one, if you're doing a rebuild and you're trying to get younger and get young kids that are ready to play and that can grow up and play together, and in 3 years, they're a pretty doggone good team. In 3 years, Webb's going to be on his last year of a contract. That's not why you keep a Webb. The other way that I said to trade is trading Webb is if you went out and signed a Burns and a Fried and, you know, an Evaldi or a Jack Flaherty or a Walker Buehler, three pitchers, and then you wanted to get more position players or young pitchers for Webb because he's got the most value on the team. Now, if you're not going to do any of that, if you're only going to go get a Burns or a Fried, you're going to need Webb if you want to compete, okay? So don't think of that I'm just talking about moving Webb just to move him. The Giants have use for Logan Webb if they only have one other real ace, okay? If Burns is the ace or Fried is the ace, you're going to need Logan Webb. But if you had 2 or 3 of those guys, let's say you had Burns. At the time, I was thinking Burns and Snell and let's say a Flaherty. If you had all 3 of those guys, then you can move off of a Webb. There's also the idea of keeping him and using him and having a dominant pitching staff. Look, I'm not an anti-Logan Webb. I love Logan Webb. I think he's, a heck of a pitcher. I think he's probably a number 2, best suited as a 2, or even as Lou has mentioned, a 3 he could be, where he's not, facing. You got to remember, when you got Logan Webb as your ace, he's always facing the other team's best pitcher.
Exactly. That's the biggest point you've made all night, Dan.
And when he does, the Giants don't score off that pitcher.
Yep.
You guys remember the game that was it Snell against Chris Sale? And it was a 1-0.
That game was here.
1-0 game. It was the first game of the series. The Giants were 1 game behind the Braves, remember? And they lost the first 3. Yep. They had a chance to overtake Atlanta, and they felt that was pretty much the beginning of the end of the season.
And then they lost to Florida, the Marlins, a couple. Right. Yeah, it was exactly on the end. Yeah, so I'd love to get Arenado, but where are you going to put him?
Yeah,
you have a shortstop already, which originally he was, and you already have a third baseman.
Yeah, Arenado's not coming to the Giants unless he was to play first base. But Arenado's not coming, even though Arenado and Chapman went to the same high school. Imagine that. I think it was in is it Lake Forest or something like that? Southern California. I think the Giants' moves are this. Let me get rid of this. Why am I got cases up there still? Let's figure this out, guys. We'll come live when the Giants make their next signing. If it's Burns, we'll be here live if it's Soto. I do think things are going to happen more rapidly this year. I think guys sign quicker. I think Soto gets done within 48 hours that we're talking right now. Probably, I think the Soto deal gets done, Lou, within 36 hours.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. I think it gets done 36 to 40 hours. I think Burns comes off the board. I think Fried follows. And then it's just a pecking order. Teoscar Hernandez goes. Santander goes. This is why it was very important. Adrian says, damn, where's Soto going? Adrian, I think at this hour, if I had to guess, I think he's going to go back to the Yankees. I think he goes back to the Yankees because I think if he wanted to leave the Yankees, he already would have signed. I think he would have already signed. If some of the offers are true, over $700 million, I think he would have grabbed the 7 somewhere. And I think he's hoping the Yankees come close to it, and then he's going to re-sign with the Yankees. My next guess is if he doesn't sign with the Yankees, it's probably the Mets, but it wouldn't shock me if it's the Dodgers. forever. This move does nothing. Even 5 more players done nothing. You're not getting past Braves, Mets, Padres, D-backs the next 5 years. Tank was the right lane. Well, forever. Appreciate the super chat. I think you got to look at it this way. If this is the only move, you're correct. It does nothing at all. Okay? And as far as they need 5 more players, I really think they need 3 players could do it. It would be maybe 4, but Burns would be 1. 2 would be a guy like a Teoscar Hernandez. I don't know why they just don't, go boom after him. Pay him. Look, offer him money that makes him say, Dodgers, you're going to match this? Go ahead and give Teoscar 4 years, $110 million. See if that's $22 million a year. Then go get Burns. Now you're really competing. Okay? And then go get the kid that we watched earlier, the Hye-Seong Kim. And go sign Sasaki if you can get him. So if you were able to do that, Burns, Teoscar Hernandez, Hye-Seong Kim, who was the other ones I said?
Sasaki.
Was there one other one, or is that it?
No,
that would be enough.
Those three so far. Well, you got Adames. You didn't mention Adames.
Yeah, Adames. That would be enough. We'll see. This gives me a little more hope that the Giants are looking to do something big. I can almost predict this, guys. They're going to sign Corbin Burns. I think they're signing Corbin Burns. He grew up in California. He went to college at St. Mary's. He's on the East Coast now. It's his one chance to come to California, back to California. If the money's similar and he enjoys being in California, if that's true, then I think he looks to come. And if he does come, look for the Orioles to jump on Max Fried. I think that's the next move. I think if you get the Giants or anybody else gets Corbin Burns, I think the Orioles pivot quickly to Max Fried because he's a little bit less expensive than what Burns is $200 million plus. Fried, I think Fried's right around 150, 30 years, 30 million, 5 years.
Might even be more.
The way things are going, I think the way this, yeah.
I think he's going to be closer to 30, maybe even over 30 a little bit. I mean, I keep hearing, and all my guys, that Fried's going to Arizona.
Interesting.
All these guys.
Let me ask you this, Lou.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this, chat. If the Dodgers are really in on Soto and they're willing to offer him over $600 million, what prevents the Dodgers from going out and signing Corbin Burns and Teoscar Hernandez and Hye-Seong Kim for what? 350? 350. Yeah. What happens if they go get Max Fried?
Fried and Burns.
What happens if they went and got Fried and Burns and they just said, screw it, we're going to have the most dominant.
Because they had the money for Soto, didn't get him, so let's get the two big aces.
Let's go get Fried. Fried wants to be a Dodger. Burns grew up in Bakersfield. What happens if they said, you know what, we're going to put $400 million into these two pitchers, and we'll pay Teoscar $75 million, and we'll get Hye-Seong Kim, and we're set.
Might be one of the best teams ever assembled.
Somebody said Logan Webb commented on her stream. Well, I don't see that.
Tell him to call in if it's him.
We could reach out to Logan.
Yeah.
Love to hear from Logan. Look, I want Logan Webb as a Giant if you're going to compete. I don't think you're utilizing Logan Webb's talents if the Giants did nothing. Even with Adames, they need more. They need more pitching. You get Burns and Webb and Sasaki together, and then now you can beat the LA Dodgers. I don't care how much power they have. You can beat them in a series. And if the Giants add a little bit more, I don't see what are we talking about in the stream here? Dodgers not going to get Soto. George Curry says Giants are getting Burns. I agree. We are going to compete for sure. We need more pitching and another bat. Yes, George. This is what I'm saying. You got to get Burns. Giants have to go get Burns, and they need another bat. whether that is, I think they need a couple bats. They need some bats that make contact. And I do think some trades are coming.
All right, I got it. I got the trade. I tell you, I'm going to throw something out there for the chat. See what you guys think. We will sign Burns to make Dan happy. And then we're going to propose a trade. And you guys might be upset because we're going to lose some of our young pitching. But we trade like Black, Harrison, Matos, Schmidt, and Ray to the Chicago White Sox for Garrett Crochet and Lewis Roberts.
Say that again.
We'd trade 5 of our players, including a couple young pitchers, to the Chicago White Sox for Garrett Crochet and Lewis Robert. They're not going anywhere. They have a future. They can't pay Garrett. They're going to lose Lewis. Let's take full advantage of the situation. Trade a bunch of our youth and some of our 5 players for their 2.
Right.
We give him Harrison, we give him Black, we give him Ray. Then we give him Matos, another young guy, and Yaz.
Yeah.
Because I keep hearing Garrett Crochet is going to be traded because Chicago, it's the best time to trade him. I also like one thing, Dan, that for people, when the trade went announced, we went live like Dan always does on NorCal Sports Network. And he kept, Larry Kruger brought up a great point. Why don't we get a talk with the A's and trade for their closer? I don't know if you saw what he makes. He's got 4 years left to control at $11.7 million.
Say that one more time.
So the A's closer, who, of course, they got him cheap because he came off surgery, has 4 years left to control. And his salary, is $17.1 million only.
Wow.
That's what Dan keeps bringing up. You guys, we can't just keep getting free agents. We got to think outside the box and try to do possible trades. Trades with the Chicago White Sox. Trade maybe with someone like the A's. You guys, we got to remember, the Giants are used to having homegrown players, so we don't have a great homegrown right now. So we have to adapt, and that's through trades.
Hold on,
spend a little money on the free agency. I mean, Dan's been saying that for a while. Yeah, SD 7777. Harrison, amazing how 1 year happens. Everyone talked that he was the new Mad Bum. And now, you're like a lot of people, he's not as good. I mean, the Giants were lucky. They got Birdsong. But, Harrison, I think he's a little bit away. Posey won't trade Harrison. Well, let me tell you something. If you get an opportunity to trade him, you have to trade him. You guys are making like Harrison's like Mad Bum. He's not. He's not even close. He can't even hold his jock. He's our 5th starter, and he wasn't that good this year. It might have been pressure, but, it's business. That's what it's all about. It's business to improve the team. And remember, if you want something good, you have to give something good up.
Yes, exactly. We've got a ton of people watching right now. We've got over 2,000 watching the show right now. Many on X. Thanks. Shout out to Logan Webb, who has commented on this show right now. And Logan, I've given Logan a shout out. I texted him. I've asked him to join the show if he'd like. We'd love to hear from Logan Webb. That would be tremendous. Logan, if you're watching now, give me a text. I will bring you on the show. And guys, we have all of you watching. This is a channel that has been covering Giants baseball very strongly for over 2 years. Every post game, we come on live. If you're watching the show for the first time, come on over to the channel on YouTube. After you watch X, give us a like and subscribe. We're pushing Giants information out. This is a very, very exciting day for San Francisco Giants. We came on live within 10 minutes of the announcement that Willy Adames had agreed to a contract with the San Francisco Giants. And we're pretty excited. And so, Dan, did Logan really come on here? No, Logan hasn't come on. He commented on the Twitter or X on this show is being streamed right now on live on X, okay, as we do all of our shows. So, but we would love to hear from Logan.
Yeah, of course. And then Dan, with such a big day, how are we looking? Did we hit 4,000 yet? Because we've had such a great today's been huge with 2 huge shows. Subscribe, guys. It only helps Dan and the show out.
Yeah, we're just under 4,000 for the show, but right now, nice. Guys, we have watching the show over 2,300 people live as we go on.
Like and subscribe. And then you know what? A lot of you guys that are there, maybe become a member of NorCal Sports Network. You guys become a member, $5 a month. You get a gift from Dan saying thank you, and one of his sponsors is going to give you $10 worth of yogurt at Yogurt Shack in the East Bay.
There you go. Yes. Come on. Yeah. We've had Casey Schmidt on the show, guys.
A couple of weeks. And aren't you going to see him soon?
I will see him on Tuesday. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Dan, you got to do Kings coverage. Logan, yeah, we cover the Kings. Look, we cover. I know. Logan says, I'm trying to look at what his comment was. He said, "You guys are something. You're amazing," or something to that nature. Probably might have taken offense to us saying that they should trade him. Look, you guys have to understand where I'm coming from. I am a big Logan Webb fan. I'm a bigger Giants fan, and so I want what's best for the team. And I felt like if the Giants were going to rebuild, they should look to trade Logan Webb because they would get a ton for him. He's the most valuable piece or commodity that the Giants have as far as trade. But if you're not going to rebuild, then you need to either go sign a bunch of pitchers. That would be the only other reason I would trade him, because then you can attract a major league bat for a Logan Webb. But I am totally 100% fine keeping Logan Webb on this pitching staff, but he needs more. He cannot do the job by himself because, as I said, he's their number one pitcher. He faces the number one pitcher. The Giants haven't supported him enough, given him enough runs. If he's pitching as the 2 spot or the 3 spot, then he's probably going to win 15 to 20 games because he keeps you in every game, and the Giants are going to be able to score more runs for him. So this is what I'm saying. Okay. I think the Giants need Burns. I think if you have Burns, Webb, Ray, Harrison, and Birdsong, you still need a little bit more. I don't think Jordan Hicks is the right guy to be in the rotation because I don't think he's stretched out to last the full season. This was my fear last year. You guys heard me and were watching. I said that Jordan Hicks, the Giants would end up he would end up getting hurt and he would lose his effectiveness. And I was right. He wasn't stretched out. He'd never pitched over like 77 innings, or was it 105, something like that. Well, whatever it wasn't starting pitching innings guy. That's why he started out great and then he tired.
He got hurt.
Yes. And you're best to put a guy like Jordan Hicks and have a stellar bullpen. If you have a
8th inning, he'd be perfect.
Yeah, if you got him and Duvall bounces back, and you got Ryan Walker, and you got the Rogers brothers, and you got Miller, and you got Sean Jelly, you end up then, and you get a guy like Burns who goes along with Webb, eats up the innings. You don't put the pressure on the bullpen. The bullpen now can last and not die out in the dog days of summer. So I do not want to see, I like Jordan Hicks. I just don't want to see him back as a starter, because not that he's not a capable starter. He is, but he's not capable, I don't think, for 162.
Yeah.
And
Dan, I think all your points are good. People forget last year. I mean, we did all the post games, so we know. The Giants, because of Snell signing so late, was so ineffective the first 6 weeks of the season. He might have been the worst pitcher in baseball at that time. Okay. Also, guys, if you remember, we had Jordan Hicks was starting, so you really had to go careful with him. And we had 2 starters of our 5 every time. So literally by May 1st, a month into the season, our bullpen had already been used up more than any other team. And we kept talking on the show that by July 4th or the trade deadline, our bullpen would be washed. And that's exactly what happened. Also, we depended so much on Ray coming back from injury back in July. That's why we did the 2 starters. You only can have so many of the 26-man roster on the 40-man, so we had to adapt. And it was everything that Farhan said, don't worry about, collapsed. And, last year we were hoping to be the 3rd wild card with our pitching. We had 7 starters going into the season, and we wind up ending, I think, with 3, so, and injuries happen. Last year, a lot of
the Dodgers. Look at the Dodgers. They ended up with
every
3.
one of their starters.
Yeah.
Throughout the year. And all we ever hear on our chat, guys, it's just part of the game. It's 162 marathon. That's why, the key thing Dan brought up tonight too is, Webb, you guys think is an ace. He's not an ace, but he has to go against the other team's ace every time. That's why if you get someone like Burns, who would be our ace, you could slot Webb down. He would get more wins. He'd have an opportunity with his ERA to pitch even longer. It's tough when you're going against the ace. Like, you guys know when the Giants go against someone, like say the Giants go against the Dodgers, right? And Ohtani's pitching. Disregard their offense. You're already worried, oh my God, Ohtani's pitching. Oh, you're already thinking we got to at least score maybe 1 or 2 runs if we're lucky. That's the situation that we're in. So that's why we got to get Burns. Sorry, Dan. I just wanted to bring that up. You brought up a great point.
Let me get to Don Michio's comment. Signing Adames this early signals to me something much larger is at play here for the Giants. I agree, Don. We said it earlier. We came on live. Something definitely is coming. I think you're probably looking at Burns. They may be able to get Sasaki. I don't think Sasaki's eligible to sign until after January 15th, though. But there is something happening here. Buster Posey has a plan. Their new GM, Zach Menason, he's, they put together trades before when he was with Milwaukee. I fully expect some trades to come as well. You got to think about the Giants are filling up their their infield's full. You got second base. Are you playing Tyler Fitzgerald there? Are you playing Casey Schmidt? Are you going out and signing this Hye-Seong Kim? Is there a trade? I really love to see Casey Schmidt at second base. Personally, I think he's a great glove. the role I would put Tyler Fitzgerald in would be the super utility role where he plays all over the diamond. He's a valuable player to the team, but I think he's more valuable as a guy who moves around the diamond than an everyday spot, because I think Casey's a better glove. He's going to give you better defense at second base. Casey's a Gold Glove infielder, okay? As a third baseman, he was a Gold Glover. At second base, he will learn that, and he will become a Gold Glover. If he's given the opportunity, he will do that. I really fully believe that. He's got a great arm. He picks the ball as good as any player I've ever seen in the dirt with a quick tag. So I want to see Casey Schmidt get some playing time. Guys, we have over 3,000 people right now watching on X. If you're over on X, please come over to YouTube, where our show is, that's where we generate, the revenue to the show just by your subscribing and viewing. We would really appreciate if you would come over to YouTube and just click on NorCal Sports Network, hit subscribe, and then join the show. It would mean a lot. We really do appreciate that. And guys, this is probably, without a doubt, our biggest show. We have over 3,000 people watching right now.
Yeah, this is almost like when Farhan got fired. It's huge.
Yes. And I would like to see, I would like to think that we here at NorCal Sports played a small role in helping the Giants move off of Farhan Zaidi. Nothing personal against Farhan. It was all job related. We didn't feel like he was making the Giants any better. In fact, I think it was crazy, the revolving door of players that were in and out of the organization that were other organizations' rejects. And Farhan would pick them up, give them a shot, move them out, pick somebody else up. I think those days are over with Buster Posey and Zach Menaeson. I think you'll see there's always transactions in Major League Baseball. You're going to have movement, but you're not going to have the worst movement that under the Farhan regime was guys coming up and down from Sacramento for a series or two because they had the platoon advantage, and then they'd send these players back, wasting up their options and driving these guys nuts, not knowing where they were going to play. So, yeah. Hey, yeah, come on over and click on that. There's the link, guys, in the chat. You can sub to NorCal Sports Network right there. Click on that over there on X and join NorCal Sports Network. We would really, really appreciate that. It does help tremendously the show grow. So if all of you would just take a moment, click on subscribe, that would be tremendous. Let's see what else we got here. Looking here on X, it's now 12:23 in the morning in New York. So I don't think any moves will come tonight. But do they happen tomorrow, Lou? What do you think? Sunday, NFL Sunday?
I think there might be rumblings, like a couple rumors, but if there was something, I don't think it'd be announced until probably after the 1:30 games, like after the Niner game. I mean, I have Jeff Passan on my thing, so I always like to look him up, because I believe he's honest. He talks about it, and I think that's a big key. But All
right, big free agent predictions for the week, Lou. I'll start. I think Soto. I think Soto signs with I think he signs with the Yankees. I think I'm going to take Soto to the Yankees, Burns to the Giants, I think Fried goes to Baltimore. Teoscar re-signs with the Dodgers. Anthony Santander. Wow. He might re-sign with the Orioles possibly. I don't know. What do you got, Lou?
I'm going to throw a couple crazy. I think, you're sort of convincing me they're going to go after Burns. I have a feeling the Dodgers might panic and maybe try to get Fried from Arizona. They're going to sign him. And I think then the Giants come back and pick up Buehler. He's not going to be as expensive. We can get the two. And then, then our pitching's done and we can really maybe concentrate on trying to get another stick. Because I think with our offense right now, we need another stick somehow. But, that's me. You got to throw crazy stuff out there because, guys, this is so crazy because usually there's 25 rumors and the top rumor is the big wig where usually he goes where the money is. And then everything else, you have no clue. And these guys go, oh, my God, I didn't even know. Or, so I think the Giants will get Burns. And then they're going to come back and probably, get Buehler. Someone like that. And again, people don't realize Buehler before his injury was the Dodgers' best pitcher. A couple of years ago, he was their best. He fit in perfect.
Oh, 21 season, he was the ace.
So
when the Giants and Dodgers were battling, you had Walker Buehler. I remember when the Giants actually got to him and hit him pretty good.
Yeah.
In a game that was a big game, he had their number for years. But guys, I think the Giants are, they're definitely not done. I do believe they need contact hitters because, again, you look at the lineup, Chapman and Adames and Ramos all have 25% strikeout rate. Now, I'm okay with 3 of those guys striking out more because they are the guys that, have 25 plus home run power. But you can't have Bailey striking out 22% of the time. You can't have Yaz striking out, 25% of the time. You can't have Tyler Fitzgerald striking out 32% of the time. I'm not even sure what Wade's strikeout rate is, but the Giants, I think it was 22%. You got to have guys that make contact. That is the key to the Giants going forward, Lou, is they got to have the strikeouts, got to stay intact. So,
last year, if they would have just 5% hit better, 5% more with runners in scoring position, they would have been 500, probably 3 to 5 more wins. There was too many times where, and it's gone back obviously to 2010 torture where, scraping just for runs. But I can't believe how many times we'd have runners first and second, nobody out. We don't bunt, so it's hard to score. And just runner scoring position. I mean, I think through August, we were dead last in the majors in runners scoring position average, which is sad compared, teams like the A's that, had worse records than the Chicago White Sox. What did Dan say? We need people that can make contact, and it's making contact in key situations. Chapman, guys, if you would have saw how many times Chapman, all he had to do was a sacrifice fly or a ground ball, but he struck out way too much. So you got to get someone that can make contact. I brought this up before. In the World Series, the Dodgers had 2 sacrifice flies in one game. Okay? So there's chances to win when a powerhouse like the Dodgers are doing that. You just need people that can make contact. That's the key.
Right. Yes. And that is the key. The Giants and Buster Posey. Lou, I think you might have to come in, go out, and come back in. You're losing your signal. You there?
Okay, I will do that. Hold on.
Try and get a different signal. Yeah. Okay. So me. So, guys, I think the team is going to have to get more contact hitters like the Dodgers, like the Padres, like the Diamondbacks. And Buster Posey's already referenced this. He's referenced the fact that, let's see if Lou's got a better. There we go. I think it's going in and out. Can you hear me okay? Lou?
I can hear you fine. I have no problem. I
Okay, there's
myself. I
just
see
a
you.
little delay. There's just a delay. Okay.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah. So I think you're right. Yeah, Lou, lag is real, Alex says. Yeah. It's why don't you try signing completely out, coming back in on the link, see if that
I'll
works
do that.
better.
No problem. I'm gonna sign back in.
Perfect.
No problem.
Yeah. Thanks. All right,
Yep.
guys. So Lou's going to come right back in. He's got a little bit of a lag that's going on here. So we'll get him back in here as he signs on back. So again, guys, give the like and subscribe. We appreciate you all being part of NorCal Sports Network. This is a leading network to cover San Francisco Giants. When there's breaking news, we've got it. We were right on it this afternoon when Willy Adames signed. And we'll be right on it when Corbin Burns signs and when Juan Soto, wherever he signs, we will cover it for you. I did not hear back from Logan. So let me check my text, see if he's responded. No. Anyway, it's kind of a rough night. Maybe he probably saw us. Hopefully he didn't misunderstand us, and I'm sure he, understands the fact that this is big league baseball, and we're covering the Giants. What we're trying to do is talk about making the team better. Again, oops, did I freeze now too?
It's just not me.
I froze too. Hold on, I'm gonna go ahead, Lou. I'm gonna
no problem.
Happen.
Oh yeah, I can see myself, no problem. All right, Chad. Hey, first of all, I hope everybody has a safe holiday. Exciting news about the Giants today. Hopefully we have exciting news about the 49ers tomorrow. Hopefully it's Robert, I think, it's just sometimes it goes in and out. It's the way the internet works. But, guys, I'm excited because it's step one of 4 steps. I will comment because Jake brought up a good point about the Sharks. This is the toughest road trip in all of hockey. 4 tough games on the road. They lost tonight 3-1. Not a problem. They will bounce back. There you go, Jake. I think the Giants, I said this earlier, this is a step of 4 steps we need to do. We definitely need at least 1, possibly 2 more starting pitching, and we need another bat. Dan brings up a good point. A lot of the guys right now in our lineup strike out too much. So we need people that can make contact. The perfect guy that I would love to get, but I don't think he's available, plays for the San Diego Padres, their leadoff guy. The problem is everyone's in the same situation where you need a contact player. Right now, either you need a guy that's going to hit the home run, or you need a guy that's a slapper, contact person. I always think Sarias, or what's his name for he used to play with the Miami Marlins, and of course San Diego got him last year for nothing. Would have been the perfect Giant, but it's tough. It's one of those things. What are you going to do? But Dan's trying to get back. Nope, we're not sure. All right. I don't know. Guys, look at Dan. Look at him. That's a young guy there, huh?
Yeah, having trouble with my camera all of a sudden. Don't know what happened to it.
As Robert said, autocorrect sucks.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened to my camera. It just bailed out on me.
Shane Bieber just signed 2 days ago. Shane Bieber signed a 1-year deal with Cleveland.
There we go.
So he's back with them. So
there we go. All right. Oh,
then you left. There you go. You're back. You're back for more, little rat.
I don't know what happened there.
All right. It's the
Aaron
internet,
Law
Saturday
says,
night. People going crazy.
Logan Webb is sabotaging the show for one.
Hey, it's just business. Nothing about Logan. It's just business. We're trying to improve the team. He's our best asset.
Hey, it's actually it should be a compliment. He's the most valuable piece of the Giants. If you look at the trade value simulator, he is by far and away above any other Giants player. So he brings back the most in value.
And why would that be, Dan? Explain to the chat why he's the best value.
Well,
is it because of his contract, the length of the contract?
It's a combination.
Innings, eater. I'm like, explain to some people in the chat why would Logan be traded? Because why wouldn't our best player be it? And this is on the chat. This is why we bring this up.
All right. Here's the reason he brings the most value. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, no problem.
Okay, good. I lost something there. The things are flipping out. Logan Webb brings the most value to the team because he's one of the top pitchers in baseball. He's young, and he's signed for 4 years to a team-friendly contract that counts about $18 million going forward for AAV, which is, you look at what pitchers are signing for, okay? Logan Webb, let me pull up the numbers here. I just had it up a minute ago,
Burns might sign for $35 million, $36 million.
Right.
And you can get Webb for half the price.
Yes.
And 4 years. Okay.
And he's an innings eater. He pitches more innings than anybody in the National League the last couple years. Okay, so if I bring up Cott's salary and you look at the Giants' salary situation here, okay, take a look at Logan Webb. He is signed for the next 4 years, line 16, $18 million toward the competitive balance tax. $18 million for the next 4 years. That is so cheap. Okay? That is really cheap.
So that's $72 million for 4 years.
And any team in baseball would want that. And that's why I was suggesting that, because if you were going to do a rebuild, the Giants, by doing that, it would bring back a hitter. The Giants cannot attract generally top hitting. They did get Willy Adames today, so a coup for Buster Posey and Zach Menaeson. Adames, 112 RBIs last year, 33 home runs, I believe he hit.
112 RBIs. I mean, we barely get guys that sniff 80.
So the Giants were able to get the shortstop and a hitter. But can they attract that big power hitter that is your 40-plus home run guy? Can they do that? Hasn't been willing to come here except Barry Bonds. Okay. So I think the idea of that is really huge. Hey guys, by the way, we've got over 4,000 of you watching on Twitter right now. Let me give you a little announcement. Ned Colletti, former assistant general manager of the San Francisco Giants and general manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, is a regular on this show. He comes on every other Sunday night. We had him on last week. He will be here next week, a week from tomorrow at 8:30 Pacific time. Ned Colletti. Marty Lurie joins the show. We will have Marty Lurie joining us. We've had Casey Schmidt join the show. Bobby Evans, former general manager and now a assistant, or I should say a
special advisor.
A special advisor to Buster Posey, will be joining the show within the next week or two after the winter meetings. Bobby's been on the show. We've had former Giant pitchers Dave Dervecki and Sean Estes on this show, on this channel.
Oh, yeah, I love Sean one.
Sean Estes was fabulous.
Yep.
So, guys, make sure you tune it in here to NorCal Sports Network and give it a like and subscribe, please, if you would. If you're over on X, the link is in the chat. Let me see if I can pull that link up again. Maybe our producer can add it in there again. But you got to come up, click on the link and sub on YouTube. There's no subscribing.
And does that cost anything?
Next.
It costs nothing, right? You just like and subscribe. Absolutely
Nada.
nothing.
Zero. Free. Yes, and we've had Riverboat Ron Rivera on. And we'll have other people on when it comes to football season. After the NFL season is over and Jared Goff's holding the Lombardi Trophy, we will have Jared Goff come on the show. Okay? We may even be able to get Corbin Burns on the show, guys. Can't promise it, but one of my really good buddies is in the Orioles organization and played with him at St. Mary's College. So if Burns signs, I will reach out to him and see if we can get Corbin Burns on here. Okay. Like I say, can't guarantee it. Two things have to happen. One, Burns would have to sign with the Giants, and two, he'd have to agree to come on. Maybe he wouldn't want to come on. Okay. We've invited others on. Would love to have Logan Webb join us sometime, and we think Logan's a great Giant. Logan's a great guy. I hope he doesn't take it personal that we suggested trading him. It was in no way saying we want rid of Webb. It's really all about he brings the most value to the team as far as returning player. But again, I mentioned this, and this is something, right or wrong. If the Giants were to sign two superstar pitchers like a Fried and Burns, I was originally saying Snell and Burns. Then I was saying, then you use Webb to go get yourself a star hitter that the Giants haven't been able to attract. So, yeah, Aaron, absolutely. We've said that as well. He's a culture guy. He's a team leader. He means the team aside from the stats. Leader, culture guy, mentor to young pitchers, homegrown, ultra competitive, etc. Yeah, those are all things we love Webb about. And again, I'm perfectly fine if Webb is part of the team going forward. But to have Webb and to make his most use, you've got to have other players around him, because look, right now, and I don't think the Giants are done. Okay. As I said, Burns has to be signed to replace a Blake Snell. You're talking about Blake Snell, a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, probably the nastiest stuff in baseball when he's on, and virtually unhittable. So if you don't replace Blake Snell with someone like him, are you better off even with Willy Adames? I don't think so.
We're still
you got to look at
team.
Exactly. What was Willy Adames's WAR last year? Does anybody know what that is? Can somebody look that up for me in the chat, please? Tell me what Willy Adames' WAR was, and then you compare that to the Giants shortstop WAR, and then it's probably a +3 or 4 games. So the Giants were 80 and 82, and they become 4 games better with Adames, but then you're losing out on with Snell. So where is this is why the Giants cannot be done. This move today, signing Willy Adames, has told me that the Giants in no way are looking to rebuild. They're looking to win and win now. But they've got to get more pieces. And I do believe it will be Corbin Burns. That is my gut. I may be wrong, but it would be something that makes a lot of sense. And Burns and Adames played together in Milwaukee as 3 and 5, just pointed out. Yep, they just right. Corey Cooper says Giants are partially in this position because that idiot Farhan refused to trade both Rodon and Snell at the deadlines to get good young talent. Absolutely. Absolutely, Corey. They needed to make the trade, and they did not. So it really, really dumb move in my opinion. Look, I've been a Giants fan for 55, 56 years. I'm 63. I started following them at 8 years old. Okay. Really 7, but 8. I remember Bobby Bonds' first game, a grand slam home run against the Dodgers. Bobby Bonds, Barry's dad. So I've been a Giants fan a long, long time, and I want this team to get back to competing for championships. And I think if you add more pitching, if you have 3 or 4 really top-end starters, if you get a Burns and you got Webb and you got Robbie Ray, who could return to that form that he was, he's a Cy Young Award winner, then you're really talking. And then you've got the young Kyle Harrison and Hayden Birdsong, who I really like both those guys. I think Harrison needs to go back to the way he was pitching before the Giants changed some of his arsenal up. So I really think that if they were to do that and let Harrison be had that dominant, hard, he had a really nice curveball that they kind of tinkered with and made it more into a slurve. Yeah, that's a great point, Aaron. Menasson's prior affiliation with the Brewers likely factored in with Adames and hopefully with Burns too. Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, Burns is a natural fit for the Giants. In fact, if you guys go look at our predictions that we put out a few weeks back, that was kind of interesting. We'll have to pull that up sometime, Lou.
Yeah.
I picked Burns to the Giants and did not have Snell going to the Dodgers. That one, I think, got a lot of us. Should have seen it, but I didn't.
Baseball.
Yeah, I didn't have him going. So let me see what we got here. Getting text coming across.
Yeah, and Robert said Willy's WAR was 3.1.
Yeah, he just texted it to me. So That's an improvement of 3 games, but you've lost Snell. So whatever, you lost Snell. So you got to replace Snell, and you got to get some contact hitters here. The Giants add contact hitters. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with, because you can't have these guys with runners in scoring position striking out. This is why I think, Lou, they need a left-handed bat in between Adames and Ramos.
Yeah, you can't go all righties.
And
we're not even sure, with Lee's injury, we don't know what type of player he's going to be because it was such a strange injury.
Right.
Is he going to be back 100%? Is offense and defense going to be solid? How is he? We still don't really know. We saw 5 weeks before he got injured, so we don't know how he is. Remember, he came from the KBO. We have high recommend from him. We just don't know.
Yeah, I think the attitude with Buster Posey. I think there's a attitude of Buster Posey that he carries. It's a quiet demeanor, but it's like killer assassin type. Logan Webb has that, ultra competitive. So does Bailey, I believe. You can kind of see it. There's guys that have it that want to win. I think this team is really embarrassed by the way things have gone the last couple of years with the way the organization was run. It was really, in my opinion, it was a lot of Mickey Mouse stuff, with the way the whole front office was doing it. I think now it's turned over to baseball people.
Yeah, the crumbs. I got sick of the crumbs. I mean, it seemed like we must have made 30 trades with Seattle, and the guy would be on our team for 2 days, and we get rid of him.
Yeah,
and it was awful.
Yeah, there is some. I think Buster is going to figure it out. Zach Menaeson, he's been in the game for a long, long time, his whole life, basically. So put this pieces together. The Giants have the money to go out and spend, and we'll see. If for some reason they do not land a big-time starting pitcher, it's going to be tough. But I do like Corey's take here. Go sign Burns and Buehler. Go for a big trade for power bats, Vlad or Luis Robert. Luis Robert, he's a guy that you can put out there in center field, but then you have to move Lee. You got to find contact hitters, though. They got to find the contact hitters. It has to happen. So, guys, we're only 200 away from reaching 5,000 people watching right now. We are sitting at 4,803 people watching the show live right now between YouTube and X. So there is a ton of people here watching NorCal Sports Network. This is the leading channel in all of the Bay Area covering the San Francisco Giants. It's not even a close second, I don't think, Lou. It really isn't. I mean, there's some other shows out there, but none that cover with the in-depth coverage, giving you insights into the game that we bring you. Guys, and we're talking.
Honesty, we're not homers.
We're not homers. We love the Giants, but we're not homers. So the Giants, exactly, Aaron. The Giants just went through their own version of Tom Sula-Kelly era with Farhan and Gabe.
Good call.
With Farhan and Gabe, it was just ridiculous. Gabe Kapler, we used to have fun with him because he was more interested in doing food reviews, it seemed like, than managing. But now it all makes sense, Lou, why he was doing the food reviews. He didn't have to worry about making the lineup out. That was done by Farhan. All this Gabe had to do is show up, check it out. What do we got? Who's the lineup today? Okay, have a meeting, post it on the board. Probably had somebody else write it out for him.
I'll take him out in the 6th inning, no problem. All right, I got to get back to the dugout. Thanks, Farhan. All right, thanks. When the phone rings, I'll take him out in the 6th, no problem. It's like, God, dude.
Yeah. Now Buster's given the job, given Bob Melvin the authority to run the club the way a manager should have. This is what I love about the move of Buster stepping in and saying, enough is enough. This is embarrassing. This franchise looks ridiculous the way it's been run. So I think the Giants, to me, I like the Hye-Seong Kim, but I also like Casey Schmidt at second base. I like Tyler Fitzgerald as a everyday rover, so to speak, super utility man. Gives a guy a day off in left field, gives a guy a day off in center, right, second base, short, third. Keep these guys fresh. A day off every now and then could help. Gets some speed, some athleticism into the lineup. Also, he can come in late innings for pinch running needs. So I think there is quite a bit. Oh, by the way, guys, we just had all these a dozen baseballs come in, brand new baseballs. Subscribe to NorCal Sports Network. These are all brand new baseballs. I'm going to take them down to Papago Tuesday, meet with Casey Schmidt. Maybe Chappie's down there. I'm not sure. We'll get these baseballs signed and we'll be giving those baseballs out on the show. Also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Once we get to 4,000 subscribers, we're going to give away 2 more Giants tickets to a upcoming San Francisco Giants game during the regular season. Early on, we've got some April games. We've got some summer games as well. But you got to subscribe. And then when we go to hit 4,000, which we're really close, guys, we're sitting right now at 3581. So we're only, 419.
Yeah.
That could go very quick, especially if you guys watching right now would go over and subscribe on YouTube to NorCal Sports Network. We'll be giving away San Francisco Giants tickets at 4,000 subs, 4,500, 5,000. Heck, Lou has got 4 great seats in the front row of the Giants game. Maybe when we hit 5,000, we'll do something really special and we'll offer, 2 tickets to the game, and Lou and I will be there, maybe something like that.
You can watch the game with us. We'll go on the field, watch batting practice.
Yep.
I mean, it's a fun time. I love to help out.
So these are brand new game balls, all rubbed, that didn't get into the games. But
getting signed by Casey Schmidt, I mean, that's great. And you know what, Dan, I just want to commend you because, while your company's booming, you're giving back to the chat. You gave away a 49er pullover. You've already given away Giants tickets. You have more Giants tickets. You're getting autographed baseballs. I don't know too many other podcasts. Usually they charge you for giveaways. You're not. You're just doing it just to subscribe. That's pretty cool. Thank you for helping everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sort of amazing.
So, guys, make sure you, if you're following on X, go ahead and give me a follow over there at NorCal Sports NW. Yeah, it's kind of funny because so we got people that I'm looking at over here on X. we got some people commenting because of our talking about, trading Webb for value. Again, for the 1,000th time, tried to mention to everybody, it's not anything against Logan Webb. I've said it over and over again. Love Logan Webb. He's a dog. He's a leader. He's what the Giants need. But you got to build around him. And if you're going to build around him, go ahead and do that. And then his value to the Giants is even greater. But if the Giants weren't going to do anything, this is step one, getting Willy Adames. It's a coup because I believe Willy Adames was plan B for several of these teams in on Juan Soto, and the Giants grabbed him. So that tells me that the Soto signing is very, very close because he got the same agent, Scott Boras. So it's a matter of time before Soto signs, and the Giants grabbed Adames before the team that lost out on Soto pivoted and went to go get Adames. So forever, you guys are dancing like last year with signing Lee, Snell, Chapman.
I wasn't.
What's changed? Even with Burns, you're only replacing Snell to be mid again. Nothing gained. Hey, you got to look at it this way, forever. You must be maybe a Dodger fan, I'm assuming, because you say you guys. I'm not sure if you're a Giants fan. I've never said anything other than they're still a 4th place team right now. And if they go get just Burns, I still think it's a 4th place team. It's a tough division. We know the Dodgers will win the division. San Diego and Arizona will fight it out for 2nd or 3rd. And the Giants will have to have everything go right if they even get a Burns to make it to the playoffs. But what I'm saying is that it's a good start. And
exactly.
You got to
steps.
You got to start somewhere. Does anybody remember a free agent announcement where 4 guys were all announced at the same time to the same team? Never happened in the history of the game. What do you expect, forever? Do you expect the Giants to have a press conference that says, Jeff Passan announces Giants just signed Adames, Corbin Burns, Teoscar Hernandez, and Hye-Seong Kim to contracts? It doesn't happen that way. It's one step at a time. And I think this is a great move if it's a move toward signing at least Burns and another player or two. If this is all there is, it's not a good move. If this is all they are doing and they run it with this and they sign, say, a Walker Buehler and that's it, I think you're looking at a 4th place team and you're going to be not a good team for several years and you miss the chance to rebuild. My point is either rebuild it. Hey, look, guys, have you seen our thumbnail, Pick a Lane? We had Ned Coletti on here talking about it. We talked about the need for the Giants to pick a lane, okay? And why do we say they needed to pick a lane? Because if they didn't pick a lane, you got to decide which direction you're going. What direction are you going? So I'm trying to look and see if we have the pick a lane on here on our show that we could show you, but we did cover it. We talked about the need for the Giants to get out of the middle lane, get into either the fast lane or move over to the slow lane. Okay. Let me show you guys something here with the channel. All you new people watching, over 5,000 of you, take a look at NorCal Sports Network over on YouTube. Those are all the shows we've done. You see the one, Tear It Down, Rebuild or Reload? That's the question. We talked about selling the team just because we're tired of seeing what the owners are doing. How about this Pick a Lane? You see that one right here?
Yep.
Pick a lane. What that was, look, the contenders in the fast lane, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Giants in the middle lane, guys that are rebuilding, teams like the White Sox and the Colorado Rockies. The need to pick the lane is simple. Get in the fast lane or get in the slow lane, because the middle lane is an awful place to be in sports because it lands you nowhere but a 500 season and a lousy draft slot. You gotta, you know where you want to draft? If you're, how many teams in baseball, Lou? 30?
32, I believe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 30. We got the divisions right behind us. You know where you want to draft every year? 30th. You want to draft 30th? 29th isn't bad too. You made it to the World Series.
You made it to the dance.
But the worst place you could draft is 13 to 18.
Like 25, yeah.
It's just an awful place to be. You're not competitive. You're mid. You don't go anywhere. You don't get the top picks like the Orioles got to rebuild or the Astros. So you got to pick a lane. That's what we're talking about. And this is what we've been on the Giants for a long time, Lou, is the need for picking a lane. That's why you can't stop at Willy Adames. You got to go get Corbin Burns. You got to go get maybe a Teoscar Hernandez or an Anthony Santander. You got to go get a Hye-Seong Kim. You got to go sign a Walker Buehler or a Nathan Eovaldi. Add. And then when you add, now you have a surplus of players that you can trade for, and now you can go fill in those slots that are weak on your team. You need a first baseman that's a power hitter. Well, maybe the Toronto Blue Jays are going nowhere. And maybe you've got a package now of guys that there's no spots for on your team. You know, guys like a Marco Luciano, where's he going to fill in if you go out and get a Teoscar Hernandez or an Anthony Santander? Where's he going to fit? There's no spot for him. So you package a deal and you go out and you you give away some of your younger, better pitching prospects and maybe a Luciano, and Toronto says, yeah, we'll take that package. It's better than losing Vladdy to nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. And I think one thing, Dan, maybe we're overlooking is when Farhan was in charge, he would never have done this early. This is something completely different we haven't seen. The other thing is, I think of last year when San Diego made the trade with Miami Marlins for one of the best hitters in the business. They did it I think it was like May 10th. The season was barely a month old, and they picked him up, where the Giants always wait till the very, very last second. So you can see a change right there. They did it before everybody else, and I love it.
Absolutely, Lou. I love the fact that they moved, and it's kind of like a preemptive strike in a war.
Yeah.
You made the first move. So you went out and got the first guy. You got your guy. You grabbed him before somebody else grabbed him because he was going to move. See,
yeah,
Robert,
and I bet if Soto would have been announced and we didn't sign him, we probably wouldn't have had a chance. Somebody else would have snagged him away.
Right.
So I love it.
Thank you, Robert, for your text. The Mets report, the Mets have expressed interest in Nathan Eovaldi, Walker Buehler, Jack Flaherty, and Nick Pivetta. Okay, that is over on the score. Lots of rumors flying around left and right. We heard the Giants might be in on Adames. We heard the Dodgers were in on Adames. We're hearing figures of 735, 750. Last week it was 650, 675 with Soto. Look, nobody knows where these numbers are going with anybody, but we do know this. These guys are going to sign here shortly. I don't see a situation that we had last year where pitchers like Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery signed late in spring training. They got off to horrible starts. Jordan Montgomery, he was listed. He was called out by the owner as it was his fault for going after Jordan Montgomery. One of the worst decisions. He basically was saying, I don't want him back, but I'm going to try and get him out of here. But look, this is Corey Cooper says, Posey doing a McGowan with the Adames signing. Yeah, you go out and get the guy. Now, what would be a real shocker is if he was in on Soto secretly. I don't see that. But think about this, guys. Didn't even really cross my mind. Could the Giants, now that you got Adames, have a shot at a Juan Soto? Would that be wild?
That'd be completely nuts.
Would that be wild, chat?
They come in at the last second?
Would that be a shocker that you go out and now you bring in Juan Soto out of the blue because we're talking about that left-handed bat that needs to go in between Ramos and Adames?
Now I think you're dreaming.
I think so too, but
brings up a good point.
Would that be something? The Giants just say, screw it. We have fallen short every year. We're coming in and they go to 850. And they just say, you know what? It's just a little bit of money out of our owners' rich butts. How about that? You got Mission Rock that's a fortune. You're sitting on a gold mine. It's
and
like
the stadium's paid for.
Yeah, it's like owning Bitcoin. It's only going to go up.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go get a Juan Soto? Same agent. Are we quietly looking at something that would set the winter meetings afire? Juan Soto? Yeah, Champ Ross, give him some equity in Mission Rock. Give him a lot of deferred money. How about just paying him $1 billion?
That's so much money for one guy.
But look, well, let me ask you this. Would you rather have Juan Soto or would you rather have Teoscar Hernandez, assuming Corbin Burns is in you get him in your pocket? Well, I don't think you can get Soto, Burns, and someone else. But let's say you have Soto, or you can go get Burns, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Fried, and let's say this Korean second baseman. Would you rather have those 4 guys or Juan Soto?
Well, except for Bonds, I can't remember when the Giants actually had a superstar of that magnitude. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. We've had 4 chances of getting a superstar, and we're 0 for 3. If you can get him, you got to do it.
Maybe the way to play this with the Giants is you go out and you get your Adames. Now you got something to tell. I mean, you're working with Scott Boras. Maybe there's this little situation where they go, there's all these fakes out that everything's New York, LA, Toronto, Red Sox. Giants swoop in with this unbelievable offer because Posey says, I've had enough of losing. We're going to go in and we're just going to be as quiet as possible about it. And boom.
Yeah, because normally we were like, it was either us or somebody else. Now,
right,
nothing. And at the last second, we swoop.
That would be a shocker. And I, for one, would be shocked. I've never thought Soto was coming here. I think the Giants could do it if they really wanted to, but maybe they had to show Soto, look, we got to have the horses first. Now, if you got Adames and Soto and Chapman and Ramos,
now you got a competitive offensive lineup.
Right. Phillips says he'd rather have 4 really good players. I don't know. He doesn't play defense and can't steal a base. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, it would also bring a lot of life to the ballpark. How many season ticket holders? Lou, you're a season ticket holder. I'm an ex-season ticket holder. I mean, I would probably ante up again if the Giants signed Soto and Burns. I'd be there's going to be some. I think it brings 10,000 more season ticket holders next week.
Because it shows that they care for the season ticket holders for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rowland, no, come on. You can't compare him.
To Adames? No.
Yeah.
Is Adames better than Marcus Semien? Well, Simeon's pretty tough. I like Semien. He could play short too, but he's a second baseman with Texas because they got Corey Seager. Now look what the Rangers did. They went out and spent a ton of money on Semien and Seager and bought, I shouldn't say bought themselves a world championship, but it brought them a world championship. Yeah, and jersey sales makes them relevant again. How about that, guys? How about Juan Soto to the San Francisco Giants? Wake up tomorrow morning and shock of the world. Juan Soto, Buster Posey comes in, pulls it off.
If that happens, I will let Robert take my place.
Yeah. Other guys say, give me the 4 players. I think I'm with the 4 players because I think the 4 players, you add Burns, Teoscar Hernandez, a Max Fried, and a Hye-Seong Kim to play second base. Now I think you got some contact hitters, you got some power hitters, you got some speed. I think it changes the whole complexity of the team. Imagine going up with a rotation of Burns, Webb, Fried, Ray, Harrison, Birdsong. You got 6 now. You got 6 that you can go with to match the Dodgers. Don Michio says Soto has at least 2 splash hits a week in our park easily. I don't know about a week.
You got to pitch to him. Remember, we're only like at what? How many? I think 121 since we've opened. It's not that easy.
Yeah. See, my thinking would be rather than go spend the 700-800 billion, go get me Burns and Fried. Okay, that's 350 million roughly, maybe 375. Okay, could even push 400, let's say, because Burns is going to be over 200. Fried's going to be 150-ish, maybe 170. The way this
thing's going. But then you just announced that you wanted to go less on the payroll. How much more do you think they're going to be able to go over?
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm saying if you were to go try and sign a Soto,
I see. Okay.
Rather than sign Soto, go get me Fried and Burns, and then get me Teoscar Hernandez, and get me the Hye-Seong Kim. And I have spent still less money doing that. I spent 400, 500 million. I spent less than 550 million on those 4 players. And now I've got a lot of ammo to go ahead and make a trade, to get me a first baseman. Now my pitching staff looks like this: Burns, Webb, Fried, Ray, Harrison, Birdsong, 6-man rotation. And I move Jordan Hicks to the bullpen. So now I probably have a better pitching staff than the Dodgers, or as good as the Dodgers.
Hitting, we've now passed Arizona, and we might be on the level of San Diego offensively.
And I think you'd pass San Diego with the pitching. You stack up a monster pitching staff like that.
Where do we sign up, Dan? I got the pen. I want to sign up for that.
Absolutely, guys. Hey, guys, we've been going for 2 hours and 17 minutes. We love having, we have over 5,500 watching right now on YouTube. Most of you are over on Twitter. Let me see what we got on Twitter right now. On what do we got watching on YouTube? Here, let me pull that up. YouTube, we have, it's pulling up here in 2 seconds. Yeah, we got about 94. That means we have over almost 5,500 watching over on X right now.
Nice.
If all of you or half of you would come over to YouTube and just subscribe to the channel, it would be tremendous if you would come over and just subscribe to the channel. It would help us tremendously. We get all of our revenue through YouTube. And the more subs we have, the more things get pushed out. That will help the revenue. That will help us do everything that we want to do with the channel. We can do more things, grow more things, add more sponsors, which then allows us to, even give out more giveaways. It would be nice to give San Francisco Giants tickets away on a regular basis. Heck, it would be awesome if we got big enough that we could donate season tickets to somebody. So, as a prize. So, guys, we thank you for watching. Go on over to YouTube. Give us a subscribe. It would mean the world to us. It really would. We appreciate you watching on X. Tomorrow, what do we got, producer Ryan, tomorrow on the show?
49ers and Warriors wrap up or post game?
Yeah, we got a Golden State Warriors post game tomorrow night. We got San Francisco 49ers coverage. What time do the Warriors play tomorrow, Lou?
Let me take a look.
I got it right here. Sunday, Warriors play at
5 o'clock, I believe.
6:30
Oh,
or 5:30.
One of those games. All right.
5:30 California time, so it'll end about 8 o'clock. So we'll probably come on roughly right around 8:15 tomorrow. Warriors, T-Wolves, post-game. Predictions for tomorrow, Lou? 49ers,
Yeah, do
Bears?
you want to go for it, or it's up to you?
Let's just cover the Niners, Bears. What do you got? Or you want to do them all? You want to do them all, or you want to?
I just go by what the chat asks. If he just wants the prediction, I'm worried. I'm worried about tomorrow. You know,
It's gonna be a tough
I know
one.
we're getting some guys back, but you know, the Bears have been. I know they haven't been winning, but they're playing better, and I'm just worried about this team. I think the fork might already be in us. So I'm going to pick a low-scoring game. Bears 20, Niners 17.
2017. Okay. I think the Niners bounce back. And I think it's 20 for the 49ers. And what'd you have? 2017?
Yeah.
I kind of like that score. But I'll take 2013 Niners. What the heck? 2013 Niners, 2 field goals and a touchdown. But it's going to be a tough game. I'm thinking the Niners make a bounce back, but it wouldn't shock me if the Bears won at all. So tomorrow, though, we've got that covered. We will do Giants talk again. If something breaks, guys, we don't care if it's in the middle of the Niners game. If Corbin Burns signs, we'll have it right here on NorCal Sports. If Juan Soto signs anywhere, we will have it for you right here, NorCal Sports. We're ready to go. Breaking news. If we get Juan Soto to the Giants at 4 o'clock this morning, I don't think we'll be on.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think we'll get on. So, but if we wake up to some big news, we'll have it. So we'll see what happens, guys. So thanks for joining NorCal Sports Network. Record crowd tonight over on X. Over 5,500 of you watching right now and climbing still. This thing is still climbing. We could do an all-nighter here. I wish we were getting monetization from over on X. I need you people over on X to come on over to NorCal Sports Network and hit that like and subscribe button. There it is.
Dan, we
guys.
wouldn't be here without our sponsors. So let's thank our sponsors.
That's right.
too.
Let's thank our sponsors again. We've got Chapman Law Group over in Marin. Everybody needs a legal situation, legal paperwork drawn up. It could be a living trust, could be just some documents. Give Chapman Law Group a call. They're over in Marin. They service the entire Bay Area. 415-613-9483. Give our friends at Chapman Law Group a call. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. Also, if you're out in the East Bay, you're over in the Danville area or in Lafayette, give our friends over at Yogurt Shack a call. Yogurt Shack, where you can make your own yogurt and go over to the table, catch all the different toppings. Guys, you want to get yourself
pretty good.
You want to get yourself look at that. Look at that. 75 cents an ounce you pay for the yogurt. So how about some of Fenton's ice cream over there and root beer floats over at Fenton's? Fenton's Ice Cream Root Beer Float. That's the sirens. They're coming to, if you look at that, you can grab it. And then if you want some toppings, guys, oh my goodness, look at the different frozen yogurt flavors. They got dairy free. They got everything. And then go check out the ice cream. Cotton candy sounds pretty good. Mint cookie. Can't beat mint chocolate chip, right, Lou? And then how about all the toppings over there that you got? Rainbow sprinkles, Snickers bars, cinnamon toast crunch, Oreo, Reese's Pieces. Oh my goodness, Lou. The list goes on and on and on. Peanut butter sauce, hot fudge, hot caramel, Yogurt Shack, located in Danville and Lafayette. Go check them out and let them know that NorCal Sports Network sent you. If you guys want to join as a member of NorCal Sports Network, for $5 a month, you get 2 of these. We'll send you $10 of coupons to Yogurt Shack, compliments of Yogurt Shack, just for trying us out as a member. $5 a month here on NorCal Sports Network. Guys, we want to thank you so much for being here. The numbers keep climbing, Lou. We're up to 50. I don't know if you see the number there. Do you see the number in the top corner, or is it just me?
Just you. I can't see anything.
Okay. It's up to 57,089. 5709 right now. Watching. 5,712 now. It's
Dan, that's because your podcast is different from everything else. You talk like a fan because you're a fan, former player. You tell it like it is.
Well, thanks.
That's what it's all about.
Guys, it's fun. We're probably going to top 6,000, but it's late. We're tired. We got to run.
And we had a show earlier.
Yeah, we had a 2.5-hour show earlier today, guys. So, guys, go ahead. Dodgers will trade for Arenado. Corey Cooper says Giants should sign Teoscar. Absolutely. Go get Teoscar. Make this team. You could go steal Teoscar. I think they could. If they, don't put anything past Buster Posey. He's as competitive as it comes. And don't take that niceness and that quietness as meaning he's too soft for the job. This guy is, as they say about Steph Curry, he's a cold-blooded assassin. He's got the demeanor of a businessman, but he is a guy that will go out and get his guys if he wants them and wants to get them. He's going to need the support of the owners, but if he gets it, look out, guys. So let me get the band going here. Let me find them. What are we going to go out with tonight? You want to go out with the old one or the new one? Which one you like, Lou?
I like the new one a little bit.
You like this one? Is it Tasty Waves or Big? Which one's this one? I'm not sure what this one is. Sounds like a Little America there, doesn't it?
Can't hear it. Sorry.
Sounds like a Little America.
Is that driver's seat?
No. Big Sky, a legend. All right, everybody. NorCal Sports Network, the place to be. We definitely appreciate you watching tonight, everybody. As we approach 5,800 people watching, over 5,700 of you now over on X. Guys, thank you so much for being part of NorCal Sports Network, the #1 show covering San Francisco Giants in all of the Bay Area, in all of Northern California. It's NorCal Sports Network, and we're not just a baseball channel. We got you covered for Niners, Warriors, even some Sharks. Go Sharks, right? Everybody?
Yep.
Somebody wants to finish with this. Let me pull up your question. Dan, question of the night. Buster Posey or Steph Curry, the best athlete of the last decade in years in the Bears? It's Steph Curry. I'm sorry. I love Buster, but it's Steph Curry. Lou, what do you think?
Yeah, in the last decade, I mean, the Giants in the last decade, the decade's only 4 years old. Let me put it this way. If you see Buster walking down the street and Steph Curry in front of 100 people, 99 of them are going to go to Steph.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
All right. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Jake. Thanks to everybody else. Really appreciate you all watching as we top 5,800 on the show right now.
Frenzy.
Thank you, everybody. We will see you mañana. We got to hit the little good night thing, everybody. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a great night. Take care.